All right. And we see your screen.
Awesome. Hi, Jenna. How are you?
Great. You?
Doing very well. Doing very well. Thanks for having me on again. I hear you're super busy getting ready for all your events coming up.
Yes, but you've been very busy helping us out with a lot of other activities. And I'm going to also post all of Philip's prior um, on-demand webinar locations and kind of content that he's provided on this topic. I'll post that in the chat for everyone as well, so you can find those resources.
Fantastic. Thank you very much, Jenna. So yeah, as Jenna said, please do get involved with, Focus or Summit or, and just, ping me or ping one of the community members and do get involved because we would, the more people, the faster this spreads. And as you guys can tell, the growth is exponential at this point. So, let me get started. Good morning, good afternoon, happy April 11th, and welcome to the third webinar in this Certify series, the third and final, which covers the third topic of the certification of Power BI. The first two topics were covered in Certify 1.0 and 2.0, and this is the third, which covers the third topic of configure dashboards in Power BI service. And so we're going to hop right into it. Just a little bit of background on me, and and as far as the business intelligence space, it's overflowing with opportunities, obviously, for both professional and personal growth. And the Microsoft BI stack is going to allow for for you to really get into both Power BI, but also BI in the BI space in general. So today we're going to look at the full life cycle of Power BI.
Hi, Philip. Did we lose you?
I guess you did. Somehow I went miraculously on mute.
Okay, I'm
I'm
like,
sorry.
I'm not hearing it. I'm not seeing any questions yet. Great. So I think we got to your who I am slide and
Okay,
we
great.
lost you there.
Well, this is the unimportant slide, so I'll go ahead and move forward. But I work in computer science languages, MDX to X, C Sharp, and R. So that's my background, and I'll just hop right into my housekeeping. Really quickly, as part of my housekeeping, could you put up the first couple questions?
Sure. All right. So we have a poll here. Just curious to know, did you attend the first Certify series webinar that Philip did, Certify 1.0, Transform and Consume Data with Power BI Desktop?
Man, this isn't even Skype, and you guys lost me. I think that one falls on me this time. I can't blame that on Skype.
I know, it's usually such a go-to. All right, we've got 83%, oh, I'm sorry, 17% did participate in it, but a large percentage did not. So we'll make sure we get that recording out to you guys.
Do, yes, please. Because that covers the first topic. So
Mm-hmm.
the next question.
And similarly, did you attend the second Certify offering, Certify 2.0 Modeling in Vogue, Data Modeling in Vogue?
Did you move the hands while you were doing that? Did you get the
Yes,
Vogue
of
on?
course.
Did you get the
I
Vogue
don't
going
think you
on?
can you say it without doing that?
You have to add like a little bit of, yeah. You have to add a little
To have
in Vogue.
hands. We've got about almost a split, 44% attended and 56% did not.
Cool.
So if any,
Awesome. Glad to see that.
I think we have one more. Yes. What value or goal are you attempting to achieve by attending this webinar? Are you looking to become certified, better understanding or improve your capabilities, or better understand the capabilities of the Power BI and Microsoft Analytics stack? prove your ability to design, develop, deploy, and secure Power BI solutions, or create a culture of data within my organization.
So no one bail yet. Don't worry, we're getting into the good stuff. I just want to get a good understanding of the audience.
All right. And 67% are looking to get a better understanding of the capabilities.
Okay.
And 15% improve their abilities.
Awesome.
Great.
Fantastic.
All right.
Thanks, John.
You're welcome.
So I'm going to do a little bit of housekeeping. 44% of you attended the second one, which is actually the highest percentage of scoring on the test. That's 45 to 50%, which is modeling. And so again, that was the second topic. If you haven't seen Certify 1.0, definitely go see that and work on the transformations. Again, this one is dashboarding. A little bit of housekeeping as far as the background. So a background of the person taking this certification, and I'll kind of move through these quickly because it sounds like most of you are just wanting to hear more about the SAC. So simplified track requires passing 2 exams, which in this case, and I'll just go ahead and go to the next slide. In this case, the 2 exams are the Microsoft 77779 and the 778. For some reason, I'm dyslexic, so I decided to do 779 first. But, and then, so you see the simplified track right here. It doesn't seem so simple in this picture, but I promise you it is. So here's the Microsoft MCSA for BI reporting, and then you take one more and you get your MCSE. The simplified track, as I said, was the 778, analyzing and visualizing data in Excel, or sorry, with Power BI. And then the second one is 779. As soon as you take those 2, and if you can pass the 778, immediately go take the 779 because I have 100% certainty that you can pass it, and then go take your elective. The elective, just for your information, that I'm going to take is the 467, which is Designing Business Intelligence Solutions with Microsoft SQL Server. That's the one that I chose. As far as the other ones, they're all really good to have a good grasp of, good understanding of, and it's up to you really which one you want to take, but I would take something that fits your skill set, and again, just go take it. These are $160 for the exam, so they're fairly inexpensive, and you can repeat as much as you want. And that's what we as exam developers, I'm helping develop this exam for 778 and 779. That's what we intend for you guys to do, is go take them, try them. Great if you pass them. If not, come back and take them. The exam basics, 40 to 60 questions, 1 to 3 hours to complete the exam. You can review and come back to some questions, not all, but the majority you can, answer them and then flag them for review and come back. And there are 20 different types of questions. So this can be a scenario question, a business case question, just a multiple choice question, etc. The scoring is relative, so it's a relative 70%. And it can be taken online or at a registered exam location. And if you do plan to do it online, please go out to the website and look at the requirements for taking it online. There's certain things that you have to do in order to be ready for that exam, such as and it will be live proctored. So even though it's online, there will be a proctor, and they'll have you turn around your screen. They'll make you show them your desk. They'll make them, just to make sure that you don't have any papers out on your desk, etc. And they'll also ask for a form of ID, as well as a few other little items. But again, go out and make sure that you do look into what you need for an online. And then, of course, you can go to a close by community college. All right, so getting right into it, recap the first section, consume and transform data. So for all of you that are here, and there's a large amount of you that just want to know about the BI stack, not so much the certification. So let's take this out of the context of being a certification, and let's put this into the capabilities of Power BI as well as the BI stack. Power BI is extremely powerful for consuming and transforming. You can and if you attended the first one or you want to go back and recap with the exercise files that I provided, you can take multiple files and you can combine them with one step. That one step can be repeated without you even having to touch the files again. So let's say, for example, a real life example is someone exports your customer list every month, or your trial balance every month, and you have to go into Excel, you have to delete 5 rows, delete 10 rows to the right. So what Power BI, Power Query, the query engine allows you to do is repeat these steps over and over again without having to touch the query. So as soon as you do one query, it's like if some of you on the call do SSIS, it will perform the transformations automatically. It's also a really powerful cleansing tool. So again, very powerful tool that continues to evolve and continues to get more traction within our space. The second section, and again, taking out of the context of the certification, and putting it into real life examples, model and visualize data. Probably the most powerful visualization engine out there, not to mention that you can actually customize your visualizations, whereas some of the other tools you can't. And I'm obviously biased to Power BI, but it's an extremely powerful modeling tool using data analysis expressions, where you can do time intelligence, you can do new customers to old customers, etc. And again, go out and watch the second webinar, and you can get more information on that. Or of course, go out to the internet and get more information on DAX. It's called data analysis expressions. And the transformations, or sorry, the modeling you can do with those expressions. Excuse me, that's like the language. That's like writing a formula in Excel, or writing a sum formula in Excel, except for very much very more powerful, we'll say. So the power of this tool is that you do it once and the process is repeatable. So that's, again, the power of this tool and the platform itself. So the first 2 sessions were inside of the desktop. And again, I kind of got to get moving because we do have exercise files. This is configuring dashboards inside of Power BI service. The Power BI service is the SaaS. So the SaaS, software as a service, that sits inside of the cloud. It is basically sitting on an Azure tenant, and you have access to it. If you're not already signed up, go to app.powerbi.com. It's also in the exercise files that we'll go into here in about 2 minutes, once I check if Jenna did upload those. And we'll talk about how to get into the service, how to configure dashboards, publish dashboards, configure the security, and administer. So we're talking the full life cycle, right? The first two certifies were 1.0, which is transforming the data, 2.0, modeling the data to fit your business requirements, and then 3 comes down to the sharing. And Microsoft has done a phenomenal job at creating a network, a sharing network, and we'll get into that, where I can have conversations with my dashboards and with people that are also on the dash, or on the within the organization. So really quickly, I'll check, Jenna, were you able to upload those exercise files?
I didn't receive any. Do you have something you could try to resend me?
I do.
Okay. Yeah, then
But I
we'll
can
get
also
those
put them.
posted.
I can also put them in the. Can I put them in the chat? Did they work last time?
I don't think it did. I think it liked it better when we put them in the handout section, but you could try.
Let's see if I can throw those into, because at least I can throw, because they really don't need. Let's see. So I'm going to put. Let's see if the PDF works. PDF doesn't paste.
If you throw it into Notepad, it will paste. I don't know what it is for some reason. It has to be stripped. Yeah.
Okay, let's just send this. I'll send this to you.
While you're doing that, let me ask you, what are the course numbers in the customer source? And there was another question, does this course give you leverage at work?
The course numbers, so
I think the exam numbers, or
Oh, I think I know what they're talking about. I can pull that up. Hang on.
Maybe?
The course numbers are yeah, it's the 20. So I'm sending that to you. Hopefully that gets to you.
Okay,
Sorry, I sent that a few minutes ago. Maybe it just didn't come through.
great.
I can also, oh, what I can do is put it, I know what else I can do too. Okay, course numbers are it's 20, let me look, hang on. Since someone asked that really quickly, I will open it very quickly. And this, I do want to get into the exercise, but this is meant to be an interactive one. So this is our last webinar. I'll be rewriting the test shortly. So if you have questions, please do, please do put them in the chat so we can talk about them. The course number is, and I'll put this in the chat as well. So this is the 778. So that's in the chat. The course number, I believe, I believe I know what they're talking about. The 20778A.
Okay.
If that's, oops, sorry, I lost it. I don't know where it just went. This site is always very. I believe it's 2778. I just saw it and then it just disappeared off my screen. I don't know where it went. Here, I don't know where that went.
I
But
saw it too, yeah.
yeah, 2778A, I believe. And obviously we can chat afterwards.
Okay, great.
All right.
It doesn't
So
look like it's come through yet. It might be getting blocked, but
the
go
other
ahead.
thing I can do, no, I'll put it on my tenant, and then people can just pull it off as they need.
Okay.
So what I'll do is I'm going to save this to my tenant. Sorry, it's always, I think, Jenna, I don't know if you encounter this with other, I do a lot of exercises, so there's always a challenge with that because we have to distribute to you guys. So let me see. If you guys can ping back, I'm going to, and let me know if you can download this. I'm going to put a link inside of the chat. And if someone can just ping back and tell me if they can grab that off so I just put a link inside of the chat. And I'll wait to see if someone can ping back and just let me know if they were able to download that or not.
I am. I hope others
Cool.
are.
Fantastic.
Let us know in the questions if you're not. Thanks, Philip.
Yes. Yeah, I kind of figured that one out. So next time we'll be ready. We'll be ready because I have my SharePoint spun up and we're ready. So going back to my presentation, we're going to hop right into exercises. This just talks about the 20%, which is spent, 20% of your modeling or your Power BI, your BI is spent, doing visualizations and working on the consistency. The other 80% is in the data transformations, the DAX functions, the M formulas, all of the modeling that goes into really creating a what do you want to call it, powerful report and dashboard solution. So chapter 3 is configuring reports and dashboards. As I said, most of this is going to be spent doing exercises, but this slide deck is a good informational. So if you download it, you can also work with it to understand what you need to know for the exam and also with Power BI. So what we're going to do today is we've already built the report. We're now going to upload it to the powerbi.com. We're going to work on the page size. We're going to work on filtering data, drilling up and drilling down into data. We're going to work with images. We're not going to work with maps today, unfortunately, but we will work with most of the other items inside of here. And then I'm going to spend the second half of the presentation actually, if we finish all the exercises, I'm going to talk about security, which is a big part of the certification, and it's also a big part of administering Power BI. So let's just jump right into the capabilities. We've already downloaded the reports. I've provided a link inside of the demo document. If you scroll down, and actually I can just put that in the chat as well since we already did that. Let me do that. Share. It's also inside of here, but please link out to that. Let me know that you can download that Power BI. Hopefully most people on this call have Power BI downloaded on their desktop. If not, please do download it, and or you can follow along later. So the first thing I want to talk about is what is a dashboard. People get confused about what is a dashboard. It's really an amalgamation or an aggregation of several reports and several data sets. So you can take a dashboard and you can put lots of visualizations on it from numerous different reports. And this just kind of shows that relationship of, hey, I have a sales report, I have a finance report, and I have a marketing report, and I just want to put this into a dashboard, and then I want to deliver it to my organization. And as you can see, this data can come from multiple data sets. The next part of this will just kind of give a comparison of a dashboard to a report. So I'll let you guys read through that yourself. And please do, scan through it and see if you have any questions on that. As far as the overall functionality of reports versus dashboards. So I'll let you read through that by yourself or on your own. And we'll jump right into the first lab. So publishing to the Power BI service. So like I said, I've provided a link here inside of the lab. And the link allows you to go out to this Power BI PBIX file and download it. I would recommend saving it to your OneDrive for Business. If you do not have a OneDrive for Business, you can save it to your local drive, and I'll show you really quickly how to get the file from both of those, and then we can start using it inside the browser to create much more visualizations. So I hope everyone's strapped in, because here we go. So the first thing I'll do is I'm going to go out and I'm going to get this report that we just got. FYI, I took this from Power BI tips, my favorite guy, Mike Carlo over there. And he came out with this great template that allows you to do a lot of cool bookmarking and whatnot. So the one thing I want to note here is get data. You have several choices. I want you to click on this files, on the files. And I'll say get. This will open up a few options. I have OneDrive for Business, local drive. I'll show you how to do both local drive and my OneDrive for Business. The first one I'll do, since that's in the tutorial, the exercise file. So my workspace, files. I'm going to choose that to connect to that Certify series. Now, if I've saved it to my OneDrive, hey Jenna, were you able to get to that site? By the way, did you try? Just to make sure. Or I don't know if someone can ping in the chat and let me know if they were able to download that report.
Yes, so we got to both sites, and I think you had sent the links just to me as an organizer, so I've just put them out to everybody in the chat. So hopefully you got both of Philip's links now for exercises.
Thanks.
No problem.
So hopefully you guys can even just get into the file and just start playing with it. But while you're watching, if you can save it to your OneDrive for Business, and that's as simple as just dragging it over into your OneDrive. I'll click on my OneDrive for Business. So as you can see, you can get files from so many different places. And the great part about putting it in OneDrive is you have one source of the truth. So for big organizations or for even medium-sized organizations, I use this a lot with my clients because it allows me to keep a consistent version and know where the version is, where I can always reach it. Whereas a local drive, you don't know if it's the same version, etc. So you guys all understand that from probably a lot of your Excel users, and even if you're not, you still understand, even if you're an IT tenant or an IT administrator, you still understand the one version of the truth, and this gives you that capability. So I'll go ahead and click on my Certify Series Power BI, and I'll hit Connect. It goes out now, it's actually getting the model, and you create a live connection. So anytime you update that Power BI, it'll update here inside of the Power BI service. So again, Power BI service is the online, Power BI desktop is my local drive. So since I said I would get it from the local drive, I'll also show you really quickly. It's pretty quickly, pretty much the same. Get data down here at the bottom, files, local file, and then you can navigate to it using this. I'll just import a generic one. Okay, so I'm now going to navigate to the report that I just imported. Over here at the side, you have I hate calling it a hamburger button, but it's, I guess, kind of generic for the three lines, and that opens and closes. So if you open that, and if you're in the Power BI service with me, you'll see the workspaces, and right now I have a lot of workspaces. So I can, for each one of these app workspaces, I can go out and I can link to those sites. We're going to stay with this one right now, and I can come back and explain if someone needs more explanation on app workspaces here in a bit. But I'm going to stay on task with my workspace. And I'm going to click, you'll first come to the dashboards. We're going to create a dashboard from our report. So we're going to navigate to reports. So for all of you that were able to get the data and bring it in, click on reports, and you'll see the 2 new reports that we brought in. This one I brought in earlier, so don't worry about that. And in order to get to it, I'll just click on the report itself. So because Mike created this cool little menu button or menu that pops up right away that gives you info, you can just click on the X. If you are playing with this in the service, I'll click on the X and it'll bring me to my report. So what is a report versus a dashboard? A report is one or several tabs of different visualizations. A dashboard is like a diagnostic view of your patient. So you use a dashboard for, hey, how's my business doing today? A really quick snapshot of, let's say, several different visualizations. And then a report is, like I said, 1, 2, or several tabs of different visualizations. So here I have a map, KPIs with a nice little report tooltip that they came out with in, I believe that was March. So you can hover over. Okay, enough with the visualizations. Sorry, I get like the visualizations. So I'm going to scroll down. I'm going to pull up my exercises so that I remember what I need to do. Staying on the same workspace, in the Reports tab, the newly imported report displays a yellow asterisk, which we saw, and select the report and open it. The report opens in Reading View. Notice that there's 5 tabs at the bottom. Okay. Each of the tabs represents a page of the report. So the first thing that we're going to do here is we're going to learn to pin. This is a learning topic. It's part of the certification, but it's also part of how to create a dashboard, more importantly. So we're going to pin this visual. So what you do is you click on the pin up at the top corner of that visual. So I'm going to pull this out of the way, and I'm going to come back to my report. So I'm back in my report, and I'm going to come over to my bar chart. I'm going to bring my cursor over the bar chart, and I'm going to just click on that pin visual. So hopefully you guys are all with me, and you go ahead and click pin visual. And we're going to create a new dashboard. I've already created one that I'll show you later on, but here's one. We're going to create a new one. So you just click on new, and I'll just type Power BI cert class. You guys are special. I'm going to give you guys your own dashboard. And we'll just use the destination theme and click pin. You'll get this little box that says, great, you pinned the visual. Now do you want to go to the dashboard? We will here in a second. I want to pin one more visual before I go there. So what I'll do is I'll come down here to the bottom, and I'm going to pin this line chart just to kind of ingrain the whole pinning process. So we pinned the line chart, sorry, the bar chart. Now we're going to come down and pin the line chart again, but this time we have used the existing dashboard, and we'll drop down to that Power BI cert class, and we'll click pin. And now we can go ahead And there's one more thing I want to do before we go and check out the new dashboard that we're creating. We're going to pin a live page. The difference between a live page and pinning these visuals. A live page, as it says, or as it and implies, is that I'm pinning a live page that I can actually filter and play with as I'm going through. So actually, Mike on PowerBI.tips created these awesome bookmarks that I can just navigate, but you can also click the tab below to navigate. So he created cool little bookmarks, but I also want to note that you can navigate just by clicking this down here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pin a live page. Okay, so again, a live page allows you to do all the filtering, and I'll show you that here in a second. Do all the filtering that would be normal with a report, whereas a just pinning a visual just allows you to link out and see that one visual. So to pin a live page, we'll come up here to the top, navigation, and you see the pin live page. Click that. We'll say existing report, and I'm going to, if you have more than one dashboard, I'm going to drop down and go to the Power BI Cert class, and we'll click pin live. And you can actually see pin live allows you to make changes, etc. So I'll click pin live. Now I'm going to navigate out to the dashboard using this cool little button that they gave me. So I want to go to that dashboard. Oh, I missed it. I missed it. How do I get there now? Come over here to the side. Click the hamburger button, navigation pane. Click My Workspaces or Workspace. Or you can click My Workspace. I usually use this, My Workspace. And now you'll see that yellow asterisk they were talking about. Here's my new dashboard that I've created. Okay, I'm gonna have to go a little bit faster because we need to get through a lot. So here's my live page that I'm just gonna put down there, and I'm going to, as you see, as I'm dragging, it kind of indicates that spot that it wants to put it, and I can just drag that right up. I'll drag that over one, make this, make that a little bit bigger, drag that up. Okay, so I have my dashboard. One thing that I wanted to show here, so the live page, as I pointed out, I can still filter. Okay, so this is still filtering my data. Whereas up here, these do not interact. When I click one of these, it's going to hyperlink me to the report that it belongs to. Okay. So here's what your dashboard should look like at this point. I think I reversed those, but so that's what it should look like. And we're going to quiz, well, it's actually quiz 3. Jenna, can we put up quiz 3?
Sure can. Let me just get the right one here. All right. Which of the following is not a valid variable type when programming in the M language? List, data frame, function, or record? All right. Let me go ahead and close that out and share it with you guys. It looks like we're going with data frame.
Good.
56%.
Okay.
Got it right?
That 44%, I mean, and who knows, that other half might be bringing it up. Yeah, that's great. You guys are right.
Great.
Right on.
All right, and this one had a little cutoff here, but this is a true and false question. So after you have pinned a report visual to create a dashboard tile, you can later modify the visual's properties, and the Power BI service will automatically update the dashboard tile with the new visual property values. True or false? That it will automatically update the dashboard tile with the new visual property values. All right. And it looks like 82% say true.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you guys are right.
Correct. All right, guys. And I believe we have one more here. Which types of data sets can be used to create a dashboard with streaming data tiles? Direct query data sets, streaming data sets, push data sets, or hybrid data sets?
Come on.
All right. Last pushes, and we're closing it out. We've got, 60% say streaming data sets.
Okay,
How do we do that?
60%. I'll take that.
All right.
I'll take that. That's right. Yep, 60%. Yep, that's streaming data set.
Great.
So
Good
just by the
job.
way, we're keeping all your guys' names, so whoever's getting it wrong is going to get,
Points taken off.
yeah, we're taking points out of the pug for you. Oh, I'm just kidding. We're just giving points to the other. I love those stars when we were younger. Okay, so, now I would like you guys all to strap in because here's where it gets a little crazy. So can everyone, yep, you can see my screen. I'm very excited for this part of it. So here's where you start to see the capabilities for that, 44% or whoever wanted to see what the capabilities are. So per Gartner, and I'm gonna have to speed through this, speed through what I'm about to say, but per Gartner, the visual analytics as well as Q&A by 2020 is going to be the most highly demanded of all BI platforms. Not only that, but most BI platforms, if they don't, as far as advancing, Power BI has the ability to use Cortana Analytics to do that for you, as well as you do your own, or put your own questions and answers in there. So Q&A, what is Q&A? Q&A, for our next exercise, we will come into the dashboard that we just created, and I will click on where it looks like a question box up here. And I'll click on that question box. And go ahead and ask your report something or your dashboard something. I will ask mine, top, and I have an example in there, top product, if I can spell product, top product by quantity, if I can spell again. All right, now you can't tell me that's not, one of the coolest things that you could do. Not only that, let's say I wanted top products. Watch this. Great, Philip, but I actually want to be able to see a visual that, in a pie or in a card. Okay. There you go. In a table, maybe? You make the choice. So again, and then you combine this with Cortana Analytics, you have so many capabilities. I mean, everything's at your fingertips, especially being in Azure. So here's one of the capabilities, again, for that, the number of people that want the capabilities. For the people that are certifying, know that you can do this. And that, there's several different functions that you can use. So for the next exercise, we're going to type top product by quantity and a card. Okay, now the one thing that I do want you to do is come over to your visualization pane over here on your right. Right. And under the visualizations, so I just click that and it pops out. Change it into a actual card. They're both cards, but we'll change it in that card. And I like that enough because what we're going to do with that card is we're going to pin it by clicking the pin button up here at the top. Pin it to an existing dashboard. I'm going to pin it to that cert class. I'm going to click my go to dashboard before it disappears. Scroll down and usually kind of pops it down there at the bottom. And we'll put it right here. So it's quantity. We can relabel this, but what this exercise is going to teach us is how to create an alert. So again, this is all around the Power BI service, dashboarding, etc. We're going to create an alert. So we click on the button up here at the top, or sorry, the ellipsis. Click on the ellipsis that says more options on that card, and we're going to scroll down to manage alerts. under Manage Alerts, once I click on that, we're going to click on Add Alert Rule. And now I can customize my alert for the alert for quantity. So for suppliers, alert me when it gets under 100. Then, as this is updating, let's say your inventory is updating every day. I'll know when I get below 100, and I can reorder. Okay, so below 100, at most every 24 hours, or you can do every hour, etc. There's also, for those interested, there's also the use of Microsoft Flow. I'm not going to get into that. That's another side of the scope. And we'll hit close and save. Save and close. And we create alert. So now when that gets below 100, I can't trigger it on this one. Obviously, we're a short time, so I can't do all the things that I want to do. But if I were to trigger that, it would shoot me an email, and I would get an alert that, hey, your quantity is below 100. So walking through the exercises and just kind of keeping on task, like I said, we created that Q&A, so natural language. We created the question, customize our card. We pin that card. You can do KPI, etc. Add a rule. So this is for the alerts. And we're going to skip quiz 3 because we don't have a ton of time, maybe at the end, but I'd rather open it up for questions, so we're going to skip that one. All right, so for this next exercise, again, keeping the flow of things, I'm going to add an image, text, or video. Here's where it gets kind of cool, because you can really customize these things. So we've added our quantity. We have our 2 pinned and our live dashboard or live report down here. The next thing I want to do is I want to add a custom tile. Now, what other better thing to do than to brand the dashboard with the company that you're representing? And so for this one, I'm going to insert an image. I'll show you 2 ways to do it. You can always pin from your report down here, but I'm going to click up here at the Add Tile. So again, I just click on Add Tile, Image, Next. So it's going to ask me for a URL because these are picked up for these images. They come from a URL. So what I'm going to do is come over here to my pug and get a little image from here. So I was going to use that one, but I like this one. So I just right click on the image that I want, and you can do this in Google Images, anything like that. Right click on the image address, copy image address, sorry. Come back to your dashboard. I'm going to paste that URL right inside of there. I will come back to the set custom link. Actually, you know what? I'm going to set a custom link so that I can get right back to that page and I can learn more about Power BI, or whoever's in my dashboard can. So I'll hit custom link, external link, and what I can do is I'll just have whoever clicks on that logo, just like you would in a website. If you click it, you go to the home. I'll click it, go to home, and click apply. And now I have the image of the image of the company I'm representing for the next BI Summit coming up. We'll put that here. I'm not sure about the dashboard flow anymore. I'm losing my flow. But so now I have my image in there. The other thing we can do is, I'll bring this weight back up. Let's see. Yeah, there we go. That looks a little better. The other thing you can do is insert videos. I'm not going to show it right now, but if I were to do the same, I could insert an iframe from let's say YouTube. So if you hit Add Tile, Video, hit Next, and then it gives you the video URL or YouTube, and you can just use that. So that covers adding an image to your report. Let's see. And the next part of this. So we have about 10 minutes left. I would like to open it up to questions. So these you can't follow along because I'm assuming most of you are not admin tenants. However, I would recommend going and reading up on a few of the admin qualities of a dashboard or of the Power BI tenant. So far what we've done is we've published a new report, we've created a data connection, we have created a card using natural language. We have also brought in like a custom URL. And now I just kind of want to show you the admin portal. So in order to have an admin portal or to go to the admin portal, I'll click on the settings up here at the top. And within the admin portal, you can customize, you can not only see the usage metrics of your reports. So again, this is just nice to know. I can see who's accessing my reports, how many times a day they're accessing their reports, what reports are getting the most usage, and really just analytics on the analytics that you created. Analytics on top of analytics. Jenna, I don't know how to handle all this, but it's just so much.
Analytical overload.
Yeah, yeah. You know, CPA by trade, you're typically a paralysis of analysis. That's so. But this allows you to also, in addition to seeing the analytics on your metrics, it allows you to add admins in your Office 365 portal, so admins to the Power BI, etc. Audit logs, so you can get audit about who's accessing your data. So this comes in important, obviously, with the whole Facebook thing happening. Really important to keep a close eye on who's accessing your data, when it's being accessed, where it's being accessed from, etc. The thing I do want to highlight, and that will likely be tested and also important for you to know, is that there's a couple of capabilities within Power BI that allow you to control the users, the end users, functionality inside, or what they can do inside of Power BI. So one thing is the share content with external users. You can turn on and off. I'm not sure why all that highlighted, that's really weird. But you can turn that on and off. So if you didn't want a certain user, you can also specify the groups who can share and who can't share. So I want to make that very clear. So you can turn on and off the ability to share content with external users, very important from a security standpoint. You can also manage what groups have access to share, etc. So very important. Publish to web, another very important one. How many people can take what you have inside of your report and embed it? So I'll show you really quickly. If I can open this in a new tab so I don't have to close this one. And I want to leave at least 5 minutes to open up to questions. Come on, there we go. So if you don't lock that option down that I just showed you about embedding, any person can come in here. I'm going to navigate to my report. Navigate to this one. Any person can come in here and they can take this embed code right here. So I just clicked on file. You don't have to follow along, but where is it? Sorry, publish to web, this embed code. They can take that embed code and they can embed it in another website. So if you don't lock that from users, they can use that to publish data. So just something to keep in mind. I'm going to now navigate back to the admin portal just to show you. You can also lock down, so actually while I'm here, you can lock down these other options as well. So if you don't want the user to download the report, let's say you have confidential data sitting behind here, because remember, this is a tabular model, so it has lots and lots of data behind it. And if you don't lock it down, like if you put a ton of data in there, people can come in and they can download that, and then they have the data. If it's a imported data set, they can download that report from here, and you can turn that on and off. So I don't want people that are looking at the capabilities of Power BI. It is getting extremely, extremely locked down as far as or extremely secure. They're doing a much better job, and they actually just, they're doing more research on it right now, especially with the whole Facebook thing. So lots of security behind this. So you can lock that down, the publish to web. You can also lock down like I said, the export data. So that's if I'm in here and let's say you don't want the user being able to see the data behind here. Right now I can export the data. You can turn that off. So if you didn't want people seeing that, oh, hey, this is the breakdown of my, even though they can see it here, but you can lock down that export. So any of those can be changed. Content packs, same, you can manage that. So if you want, if you want to allow the users to publish to web or turn off. So these are just nice to know that, again, those on the call for the capabilities, it's nice to know that these are here and there are safeguards behind this. And I would definitely, if you're just getting into Power BI and no one in the organization or just a few are in the organization, know about it, get someone who's experienced in it so that you do have a good data governance program. I work a lot with data governance with Microsoft, so I know how important that is. And the list goes on here. I could go through all of them, but just really important to know that there is a safety net that you guys can come and look at that stuff. And also important for those that want to take the certification. Custom visuals, you can import your own custom visuals here, the embed codes, so that you can actually monitor where the stuff has been embedded and so on and so forth. Let's see, we have 5 minutes left. So I want to show the admin portal, and last thing I want to do, no, actually, why don't I just, that's really, we got to do a lot of things quick. Power BI is a great tool. I barely scratched the surface of what you can do here in the inside of the service, from natural Q&A to the analyze in Excel, where I can pull it down into Excel and I can actually have a live link to my data set, to one of my personal favorites, which is actually having the ability to, having the ability to run a quick insights on it, or get quick insights. And all I did was navigate to my data set, click on the ellipsis, get quick insights. And what this does is it goes out and runs algorithms, machine learning algorithms through your data set. Don't be scared. It's all it's doing is going through your data set and finding outliers. It's finding highs, lows, outliers, and regressions, and it's finding those, and it's actually putting them in an easy to read form for insights that you haven't seen yet. So as you can see, that went out and ran. I can say view insights, and some may be relevant, some may not be. But for instance, USA accounts for the majority of freight for contract title sales representative. So again, some of them are really good, some of them maybe not so good, but it does provide insight into the things that you can customize these things so that whoever's developing can bring back, useful data. And these are here. So if you like them, I can pin them to my new dashboard. And all I did was hit the pin, just like we just learned how to do, and pin that up. So I'll stop here, and Jenna, I'll open it up to questions for me or for you.
Wonderful. Thank you, Philip, so much. We do have a few questions here. How much do I need to know about API developer stuff in order to pass this certification? Great question.
How much do you need to know is kind of a, I understand what they're saying.
Yeah.
I would have you're not going to have to code, nor will you have to know how to write an API call within the service, put it that way. So you're being more tested on, would a client trust you to administer their Power BI within their organization? So doing API codes or API calls is not, not top of the list of things that I would study, if that answers the question.
Okay, and similarly, what about the amount of knowledge related to SQL?
Again, no.
No. Okay.
No, this is tabular model, so I would understand DAX, and I would understand the data analysis expressions as well as M, and how to transform data and how to write simple time intelligence formulas. How would you do a prior month formula for a client, and what's the business case for doing that? But no SQL.
Okay. Great. Are there any other questions for Philip? As we kind of mentioned, I think at the top of the webinar, he is really someone who has very close knowledge to the obviously Power BI, but the test and what they're looking to test you against, and the structure of it, and all of these different aspects of it. So if there's anything you missed, you can definitely look at those recordings. But we have him here now. If there's any other burning questions, general related to this test, I can also, if anyone would like to ask a question, I can unmute you if that's of interest. Just raise your hand. And I can call on you there. Just give everyone one more minute in case they think of something.
Yeah. And while you do that, if someone does raise your hand, please stop me. While you do that, I want to show you guys one of the awesome new that I actually put in LinkedIn. Awesome new features of Power BI put in the other day. So let's see if I can. I'll click on Edit Report. So here I'm actually designing a report. And up here at the top, newly released buttons. These are fantastic. So I blogged about this on LinkedIn, and really this is like adds a whole new new component or new feeling to Power BI. I know we're running over, but if you guys want to see the new buttons that allow you to have more of a, I'm just going to get rid of this, so more of an app feel. So if you guys want to learn how to do this really quickly. So right here I've clicked and I put Q&A. So I drop down the buttons and I've clicked this Q&A. So it looks like a regular button like you would see. However, this is where it gets really interesting, is that I can customize that button to change if I click on the icon, and to change on hover and select. So let's say on hover, I want it to go to 6-point width, and then by default, I want it to be 2-point. So now when you hover over it, it doesn't show really well. I don't know why it's not showing really well. Or, so you can change how it reacts to your hovering. You can also change the background and the outline when you hover over it. So let's say by default it's on white. When you hover on it, I want to change it to orange. That's a really terrible orange. I gotta talk to Mike about his color themes here. Pretty terrible. But you can customize what happens when you actually hover over it. So it adds that degree of having an app feel to your buttons. The other thing that you can do from here, again, probably because of his custom theme, the other thing that this actually came out custom with is when I click on it, it'll give me the ability to run a Q&A. So now I can ask a question right within my report.
Mike, there's a question. Can you make a change to the button if it's selected?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. So again, that popped out my, and if you like that, you can add it to your report. So now I've added that as a suggested question. So yeah, on select, again, these themes aren't great to show it off, but let's just show on hover first. I'll say So when it's just sitting here for a client, they don't see anything, but when they hover over it, it can actually change to your query. They can also, like you said, the fill unselected. So what I did was I came over, just click on the button, come over to your visualization. Sorry, I'm going really quick because I know we have limited time. Under custom colors, I'm just going to choose red. Hopefully that shows. And the transparency is 0. So unselected, I just dropped that down unselected. Click that back over. Now I'll go back to read and review to show it. Save. It's going. There we go. So now when I go and I click on it, see how it turned red? Was that too quick or did it do it?
Nice. No, it did it. Mm-hmm.
The other thing I like about this one, so these buttons add a whole new, I mean, I would open up my other report, it's pretty, but the other thing I like is that I can go like this, and then on hover, I actually want that to be blank. And then on hover, I'll change this to the, so it adds that real, and I think, you know, part of what I was talking about earlier is that app feel, and this is what I blogged about. So this is totally a human experience. It's not, BI tools have become an experiential feeling for people that they come in and they feel around, and this adds a feeling of, hey, you know, the report's reacting to what I'm doing, whereas if you look at the old buttons, that's about all you got, you know. So now the report's actually reacting to what you want it to do, and it gives you the feedback that you want. So it kind of gives you, it's a little bit of, it appeases your kind of desire to have an app feel. So hit red and it comes out. And then you can add more, so top.
But it
So
doesn't
really,
stay red.
no, so yeah, that's, I am putting forth a request to have that done. It doesn't stay red. So what I've had to do is I do have to overlay one, but it does add a different, you know, kind of feeling than something like that would. So, and you guys have this report too, so go and play with the bookmarks. If you guys have any questions on it, let me know. But it's you know, the bookmarks are there. Yeah, it doesn't stay red though. I wish it did. I wonder if, you know, I'll have to see if I can, or actually, yeah, I have to figure that out. But
Stay
yeah,
tuned for the next one.
stay tuned. Stay tuned. But yeah, there's a lot of, and you can attach it to a bookmark too. So, I mean, we still have 35 people, so either they put us on mute and they're doing something else, or you know, I can show more. If people want to see like another button or, you know, something else, please do, you know, speak up. We're running over, so I don't want to.
Yeah, I mean, if you wanna show one more thing, I think people can go ahead and drop and, you know, definitely access it later if they need to.
Yeah. Okay. Awesome. So yeah, the next thing I'll show is you know, another button that basically what I'll do is I'll attach it to a bookmark. So for this one, I have this information button, excuse me, information icon, if you will. And we'll just do kind of the same, or tell you what, we'll just change this one. Since we already have it kind of to a nice point, we'll just copy. And I'm going to get rid of this information button. Excuse me, I keep clicking the wrong button. Remove that. And we're going to check this over. So you can use the same kind of fill and format that you use on another one. And I'll just click on it. Click on the icon. And by default, I'm going to make the information button. Okay. By default, I'm going to say hover. On hover, I'm going to say get info. So again, I just drop that down, say get info. The fill, you can make it just basically transparency is 100 on when it's just sitting there. And then when you hover, you know, the fill color as red or whatever. Yeah, we'll do red. Okay. And then the fill on, well, no, because then we won't be able to. So on the fill, we'll do purple. That's fine. And then the last thing we'll do is action. So here's where I attach it to a bookmark. So down here at the bottom, obviously there's lots of other options. I'm not going to go over those. under action, I'll drop that down. Right now it's asking for Q&A because I just copied it over from that one. If I drop that down under action, again, I'm still selected on the visual and I'm in edit mode, FYI. Drop down the action and click bookmark. Under bookmark, I'll go to the info that I need for this. So, or the bookmark, whatever bookmark. So I'm on page 5 and I'll click on the info button. So that's just a bookmark. I'll go ahead and click that. So now I'm on the page 5 info. So now when I come up to, I'm gonna do one other thing very quickly. Just put these down here because otherwise they'll show up above. So now when I go back to reading view, save that. So now when I hover, again, it kind of gives you that feeling of, hey, talking to me. Click on info and it'll open up that bookmark. So you can attach it both to a Q&A, live language. So if your CFO or CEO always comes in and asks the same questions of you, put that into a Q&A and they can see that right there. Or if you need to get info and add a little info overlay, put it there. And then subscribe is send you an email. So that's some of the cool stuff. I mean, obviously there's lots of cool stuff, but I thought the new buttons are definitely a must. If you haven't learned about them, go play with them. Definitely open to questions, but that was really kind of what I wanted to show you was you can attach it to a bookmark and a Q&A, predefined questions.
I'm not sure. I missed when this question was asked. How did you make the information page appear when the first page, or when you first opened the report?
I had that saved as the default the default view.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just saving your report as a default, saving the report as a default view, and then you have to turn on inside of the options inside of your Power BI desktop, turn on the persistent filters, and it will work.
All right. Says this is great, makes pushing buttons a good thing.
Yeah, I know. I was same feeling I had. I was like, oh man, this is, yeah, it just gives you that good feeling.
Definitely.
Fuzzy feeling, fuzzy feedback.
Well, great. Well, I don't see lots of good feedback coming in, but no more questions as of right now. If you guys think of anything, please go ahead and post it in the Pug Exchange. You can reach out to me or Philip directly. We'll get it answered and addressed for you. But definitely look for the recording and resources that will be posted in the Pug Exchange. And we appreciate you all. And Philip, thank you so much for all your time and expertise, as always.
My pleasure, guys. You guys are awesome. Go on, take on the world, and try out the test if you get a chance. And if not, you guys will do great anyways. Please do reach out to us if you have any questions. But it was great having you guys. So thanks for coming.
Great. Thank you.